Let's get to it. Let's do it. Oh man, which one is it? I think it's this one. No, I picked the wrong one. I think it'll be all right. Good morning. Oh my gosh, good morning. What is cooking? Good looking. Good to see you. If you're new here, my name is Wet Willie. We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that produce profit. We are going to get into it right now. Oh my gosh. We got so much ground to cover and not much time to do it. we have a ton to cover. Yo, we up. What's up, Russ? Good morning. Good morning. Let's go get some assets, baby. So, if you're new here, my name is Wettis Willius. We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that produce profit. If you want to hang out with us every single day, good morning. Morning, Jason. Oh my gosh, I got some stuff up my sleeve today. So, I'm going to show you in just a little bit. But if you're new here, good morning. We buy assets that produce profit. We maximize tax savings, everything in between. It's good to see you bright and early on this Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday morning. We're going to get after it. This is the name of the game. The principles don't change. It doesn't change. It's the same thing. Diet, exercise, and water, or something like that. It's the same thing with asset acquisition, with getting financially free. You get income. That income replaces your active income. You can stop working. We're going to talk about that a lot today, and it doesn't change. It's the same game over and over and over again. So we're going to cover that. We're going to go through some different assets. If you were on the call last night, we talked about buying self-storage with Mr. Bobby Brown. Not that Bobby Brown. With Mr. Bobby Brown in Houston, Texas, and Mr. Phil in Georgia. We evaluated 2 self-storage properties last night. I'm working on getting a class together for the trust. Does it make sense? Couldn't make it last night. Come on, man. Come on, man. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, sunshine. Okay, now back to Jason. Come on, man. It's recorded in the members area. So if you're a member of the Passive Income Club, just go to How Many Assets, and then you can check it out. All the recordings ever are there. But come on, man. All right, so let's get into it, New Orleans. Good morning. My name is Wet Willie. We're in Austin, Texas. Let's get some assets that cash flow. Let's maximize tax savings and everything in between. What do I think about Come on, man. What do I think about assumable mortgages? Should we jump straight to it? Oh my God. Okay, Nicole, just for you. How many of you want to learn how to buy real estate even though interest rates are high? Type R in the chat if you want to learn how to do that. I'll show you right now. Type R in the chat. Should we just jump straight to it? Good morning, Chris. Good morning. All right. This one. Real estate. Okay, all right. All right, let's go over here. Let's walk through this game. There's a lot of people teaching this. Very few people are actually doing this. There are more people teaching than there are actually buying. Let me show you how I buy assets like this. I'm going to walk you through step by step and show you how to do this. Good morning. Oh, man, I'm telling you, so good once it hits your lips. Okay, so let's walk through this. In high interest rate environments, I talk about this on my Saturday class whenever I do that Saturday class. I don't do them very often. I don't have another one planned right now. But on Saturday class, you have to understand that risk moves. It moves, it shifts, it changes. And you have to know where it's at. That's a part of this skill that you want to learn. Well, in high interest rate environments, risk also shifts. We want to know where it's at. But when interest rates are 7%, 6.5%, it's difficult to buy assets. So one of the things that we do is we shift our strategy. I'm going to show you a little bit of that strategy that we shift right now. But let's take a look at this deal. This is an offer. This is a deal that's going on. Residential, commercial. This is a 3-unit complex. I call him up and I say, how much money are you making? He says $6 grand. Oh! Everybody type 6 in the chat. He's making $6,000 a month. I'm ready to buy. I want to get rich. Let's do it. $6,000 a month. Type 6 in the comments. If you're new here, by the way, we're going to evaluate how to buy assets no matter the interest rate. And then we're going to talk about, for Nicole, what is an assumable mortgage. We're going to break that down and I'll show you how to find them. 6. So I call him up. I say, hey, I see you've got a 3-unit here, 2 residential, 1 commercial. What is your income? He says $6,000 a month. I say, that's awesome, but can you prove it? Can you please send me blank? What would I ask him to send me to verify the $6,000 a month in income that he says he's making? We trust, but I need to verify it. Can you send me, what should I ask for? Let me know in the comments. What would you ask for this guy to send you to verify the income that he's making? Income statements? Yeah. Hey, can you send me some income statements? What else could I ask for? What are other ideas? Let's brainstorm together. If you want somebody to verify the income from their rental property that they say they're making, how do I verify this? The profit and loss statement? Hey, can you send me your P&L statement? Can I look at your bookkeeping? Profit and loss statement's a good one. Income statement? The taxes? The taxes that is the ultimate litmus test. I can look at the rent roll. I can look at the lease agreement. I can look at bank statements. I can look at the profit loss statement. All of those are great answers at this point in the journey. But I might want to make an offer contingent on verification of the tax return. Because if I look at the tax return and that income's not reported, and I go, what's going on here? He says, oh, we do a lot of business in cash. Oh, really? Do you? Well, I'm not paying for that cash if I can't verify the income. Does that make sense? Type Y for yes in the chat if that makes sense. Type N for no. Tax return is the true litmus test. The other things can do fine in the beginning, but at the end, I want to make sure I can confirm that income. Type Y for yes. Makes sense. Cool. Good. What's up, Bart? Good morning, Bart. Good to see you, brother. So I verify the income. Got it good to go. We're making $6,000 a month in income. I like it. So I want to buy this deal. So I go to my lender. I say, hey, Mr. Lenderman, can I get approved? Hey, what's up? Good to see you. Mr. Lenderman says, I got you approved at 6.5%. Interest rates are high right now. Can you still buy real estate even though interest rates are high? Everybody says no, but let's find out if we can. So my lender says 6.5%. I say that sounds perfect. Let's make the deal happen. He gives me an estimate. Wait a minute. $6,130 a month is just my mortgage cost. What is the income on this deal? $6,000 a month in income. If I buy this asset live right now, I verify via the income statements and all this stuff, it's making $6,000 a month in income. If I get a loan right now at 6.5%, it's going to cost me $6,130 a month just for my mortgage. What's the problem with that situation? Let me know in the comments. My income, if I buy the deal, is $6,000 a month in income. But my mortgage and my mortgage alone is $6,130. What's the problem there? As Martin J. Lawrence once said in his famous piece, National Security, what the problem is? You in the red. Negative cash flow. Negative 130. Limited profit, aka no profit. It's not good. Oh, come on. See, you can't buy assets right now. You're negative cash flow. You can't buy real estate right now. The main culprit is the interest rate. So what should we do? What about the income of the property? It's $6,000 a month. The income is $6,000. My mortgage is $6,130. Then you've got to add insurance and so on and so forth. It's not going to make sense to buy this deal. And the main reason why is the interest rates. So what do? Do we wait until everything settles down and then we start buying? No. That's the advice that you hear in the marketplace, but that's not the way to do it. And if you're new here, followed you, good morning. If you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that produce profit, and I teach you what I did. This is not theory. There's not some book that I read that I teach you what the book says. This is what I did with my life from age 17 on. We buy assets that cash flow. So if you want to hang out with us and learn from reality, just come up here and tap on the follow button somewhere. So let's take a look at this. We don't wait to buy. We buy now, and then we wait. And how can I buy that produces profit? So we're going to take our big pencil time. We're going to play a game called Just the Tip. And we're going to follow the tip of the pencil. And we're going to look at the blue text down here. I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but it says down here, assumable FHA mortgage for qualified buyer. Assumable. What? What does that mean? What is an assumable mortgage? A couple of different things. Number one, an assumable mortgage is a mortgage that you can take over. What does this mean? That means that the owner of this house right now called his mortgage company and say, hey, Mr. Mortgage Man, do I have the type of mortgage that I can transfer to somebody else? What? What did you say? Good morning. Hey, Mr. Mortgage Man, do I have the type of mortgage? Good morning, Allison. Do I have the type of mortgage that I can transfer to somebody else? Mr. Mortgage Man said, please hold. Does Mr. Mortgage Man stuff? And says, yeah, as a matter of fact, you do have the type of mortgage. You can transfer that. So me as the buyer, if I wanted to buy this asset, I go, hey, I want to buy it. Good morning, 50 shots. Good morning, San Antonio. If I wanted to buy this asset, instead of me taking my down payment and walking to go buy a new loan, good morning, Nick, every day, baby, instead of taking my money and going to get a new loan from a lender, I take my down payment, I give it directly to the seller. Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Type Y in the chat for yes if you understand. I don't take my down payment to a lender. I take my down payment directly to the seller. The seller takes the down payment, and then he's going to give me his mortgage. That's what assumable means. Now, just so you know, point number 2, by law, and you can search this on the internets. The internets? Yeah. By law, some mortgages have to be assumable. If it's a government-backed loan, it has to, by law, be assumable. To give you an example, an FHA mortgage by law is required to be assumable. A VA loan by law is required to be assumable. Those are 2 examples of loans that the law requires it to be assumable, which means that I, as a buyer, can take over the seller's loan. Come on now! That's what I'm saying, Nicole. Let's go. Good morning. If you're new here, my name is Will. Nice to meet you. If you want to learn how to buy assets and maximize tax savings, come up here and tap on the follow button. So, I can't buy the deal at 6.5%. It doesn't cash flow. The income on this asset is $6,130. Is $6,000. My mortgage, good morning, is $6,130. So if I buy it at today's interest rates, I would lose money every single month. But I find out that this guy's got a loan at 3.5%. He bought the loan 5 years ago. What? So I take over his 3.5% loan from 5 years ago. I give him my down payment instead of a lender. I take over his monthly cost. I also take over his income. His mortgage is $4,814, and I find an asset that previously was losing $130 a month, and I turn it into an asset that has a profit of $1,186 a month. What? Everybody tracking with me on this, say yes. Good morning, Pavandeep. Good morning. A mortgage wrap, that's one way to do it. Assumable mortgage, that's what we're talking about. You can do subject to. You can do seller financing, all kind of stuff. 3.5%, that's basically free money. Yes. Okay, so how many of you want to learn how to find these? You want me to teach you how to do this right now? If you want to do it right now, say now. If you want to do it later, then say later, I guess. Good morning, Sarah Gibby. Good morning, Sunshine. I don't want to watch that show anymore. I changed my mind. Now. Okay, all right. Okay, geez Louise. Here's how you do it. These are some deals that we've done in the past. Now. I'll come back to this if we get time. I'll walk you through some of this. The good and the bad. The good news is we take over low interest rates. The bad, later. The bad news is the down payment can be quite high. I'll explain that to you in just a minute. We'll jump over to the big board over here in just a second, and I'll show you. But good place to find targets and code violations. Where do you think? Good question. That's not the subject we're talking about. We can get to that in a minute, but you tell me. Good morning, Pop Knox. My name is Holmes. It's nice to meet you. So here's how you find them. This is one of the resources that you can do for free. This is not rocket surgery. You can do this live right now, so take notes, screen record, whatever you got to do. You can go to Zillow. Everybody type Z in the chat for Zillow. I'm just checking your hearing. Type Z in the chat. Hey, type Z in the chat if you can hear me. Can you hear my microphone? Type Z in the chat. Z in the comments. There we go. You go to Zillow, and on Zillow, there's a More tab. When you tap on the More button, now you might have to log into Zillow in order to find the More button. I've heard mixed reviews on that. But it's free. Zillow that costs you literally $0. I've been hanging out a lot with my kids. They say literally a lot. Literally, Dad, literally. So literally, you have to log in sometimes. Whispering in my ear, bud. It's weird, but you're still here, aren't you? Who's the weird one now, Jason? Anyway, so you're going to go to More. You're going to scroll to the bottom. When you get to the bottom, you're going to type in keywords. Assumable, seller finance, owner finance. You're going to play around with different keywords. Just don't play with it in public. And then you're going to search for, if you want to, days on market. Pairing days on market. The longer something's been for sale, the itchier the seller gets. They may become more desperate. There may be some kind of urgency or need. They need to sell by a certain date. That benefits us as buyers. So I can pair those two things. I can find the keywords assumable, transferable, owner finance, seller finance, all that kind of stuff. Then I can search days on market. I pair those two things together on Zillow, days on market, keywords. Here's what we find. What? You ready? Owner financing, dueño a dueño, owner to owner. Seller financing, 20 or 25 years. These are the actual listings. The actual listings. Down payment, $8,000. We took over 4.1% interest. 4%. You can see the actual listing. There's the citation at the bottom. Can y'all see that? If I could tap on this, it would pop up. On Zillow, 4% and assumable loan. That's right, 4%. This is the actual listing. The actual listing. Continuing on, 2.875%. Did you hear me? Everybody type 2 in the comments. Interest rates are too high. I can't afford to buy. You're just not looking in the right places. Type 2 in the comments. What? What? Vero Fun, good morning. Good morning, coffee date. Why are you always late? She's like, take me on a date. I'm like, you're always late. No. All right, so we take over this one, 2.875%. Look at this, assumable 2.25% VA loan. Pop quiz. Do you have to be a veteran to take over a VA loan? Y for yes, N for no. Do you have to be a veteran to take over a VA loan? Y for yes, N for no. What do you think? Fried Hatfish. Caleb, dude, love your username, by the way. Jose, Robert Johnson, good morning. Aramed, good morning. My name is Will. If you're new here, we go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets. If you want to hang out with us, just tap on the follow button somewhere up here. Answer, negatory Foxtrot. You do not have to be a veteran to take over a VA loan. Good morning. Running to my car if you're dating. What the heck? Allison, what are you talking about? Everybody say, yo! Allison, what are you talking about? Yo! I think maybe Allison dropped her phone on some water and it's texting for her. Running to the car if you're dating. What? I don't know what that means. Good morning. Yo! Yo, Allison. So let's continue on. Let's take a look at Sarah Gibby's house. Take a look at Sarah Gibby's house. Look at this, Sarah. Yo, Allison. Sitting on the couch, overlooking the hill country, watching the sunrise, that house, that pool, that view. Assumable financing also available at 2.25% interest. So Miss Nicole in New Orleans asked me, what do I think about seller financing, assumable mortgages? I think they can be great. It's a deal-by-deal, case-by-case thing. What the first thing I would do is I would go search to see if I can find stuff. If you find a market that you really want to buy in, I would look at inventory. If the inventory is really high, that's good opportunity for Nicole for a buyer. Think about it. If there's 1,000 people, I don't know, in a 10-mile radius trying to sell their asset and you want to buy that asset, I would call them one by one, or I'd build a system to contact them. And I'd say, I'm interested in buying your house. I can't afford to buy at today's interest rates. Would you be interested in talking about making a deal of me taking over your loan? That's what I would do in a market like this. That's what we do in a market like this. Good morning, Irma. Good morning, sunshine. Good to see you. I like your shirt today. Who picked it for you? First of all, yeah, I don't dress myself. This is from Forefathers. They make awesome shirts. The thing I love about their shirts is their collars don't fall down. Like, I don't know how they do it. They put like stuff in here, like ties. I don't know. Does it work on mobile? Not seeing anything for assumable. You might have to look into, you might have to log in. Are you logged in on the mobile platform of Zillow? On the mobile app, are you logged in? If you're not logged in, go try to log in and let me know. But let me show you. Let's go back. And Forefathers, by the way, they make awesome shirts. They're located in Dallas, Texas. They're so good. They're so good. That's exclusively what I wear now, which I think I've got a link in my profile with a coupon code, like 20% off. They're awesome. I love those guys. So if you want a nice shirt, you want to look as handsome as me, not possible. But if you want nice shirts that will help you look handsomer, that is possible. Start with their shirts. Yeah, put assumable in the keywords. So you go to Zillow. When you go to cancel Money Man buyers, it's on the way. It's in the mail. Have you checked the mail? Zillow, tap more. When you tap more, scroll all the way to the bottom. You might have to log in to get this. You might have to log in. Then, yeah, keywords. Go down to keywords and type in assumable. You handsome. Appreciate you. That's what Allison was saying. She's like, I'm running to my car right now. She said, you're so handsome, I'm going to my car. I don't know what that means, but I like it. I'm in. I will find a compliment in any words. Don't you worry. The words of affirmation, baby. I'll find it. Exactly. Let's go, Allison. Good morning. So, keywords, but you might have to log in to do this. Y'all want to move on to another asset type? How many of you want to analyze another deal? Type D in the chat for deal. Type D in the chat for deal. Just lots of D's flying in first thing in the morning. Good morning. Another deal? Good morning. Let's get after it. All right, let's go learn how to find assets that cash flow. Baby, we haven't looked at foreclosures yet. D. All right, come here. Check this out. Laundromat. Catch me offline says, why aren't you married? Catch me offline. Are you a dude? Yo, Yo, everybody say sus. Everybody in the chat say sus. Yo. Okay, come over here. Let me show you how we find and evaluate foreclosures in 5 steps or less. Just getting weird. It's getting weird this morning. I haven't even got to have my cup of coffee yet. Dude, I feel like Gotham's in here. I feel like Gotham is in here live right now. All right, do y'all want to do the, good morning. She said she's taking your date in the car. That's what she said. Nobody can hear him now. I'm being a wingman. My man. Vero Fun, whoever this running the car is looking for the D. Good morning. Good morning. All right, y'all want to look at a foreclosure. Let's lock in. We are off the rails first thing in the morning. It's not even 7:50 a.m. Oh my gosh. Let's lock in. All right. Let's go learn how to find and evaluate foreclosures. Before we get into this, Black Rose, let me know in the comments what state you're tuning in from. What state are you in? And then after this, I'll show you how to find the money to buy the assets. Find the money. Let me know in the comments if you are just Tennessee, North Carolina. Good morning. Awesome. Yeah, Louisiana. Okay, well, I'm going to teach you how we find and evaluate foreclosures no matter where you're at. If you are really just desperate in the comments, like you were just like, oh my gosh, please, I'm so desperate right now. Will you type specifically this phrase, always looking for the D? We just want to know how desperate you are. Wow, Vero Fun. Oddly, you answered so fast. That's weird. Okay, all right, good to know your desperation is noted. Always looking, Jason. All right, so step number 1 on how to find and evaluate foreclosures. Come over here, and I promise you we're going to lock in a second. Over here. How do I find and evaluate foreclosures in 5 steps or less? What is the process that we need to go through to find these deals? This is not complicated. This is not rocket surgery. And even if your desperation is leaking through the comments and we can all see it, you can still find and evaluate foreclosures no matter what you're going through. Cool? So step number 1, you've already completed this process. How do I find and evaluate foreclosures in 5 steps or less? Step number 1 is you're going to go to the internets. What are we going to say, Jason? We're going to say, who, Miss Allison Hill, who maintains property records in Texas? Who maintains property records, Miss Nicole, in Louisiana? Who maintains property records in Tennessee? Who maintains property records in Missouri? But you specifically have to say, who? Who maintains property records? You're going to search that. In the state of Texas, where I live, I'm going to find out who maintains property records. That's going to be my source of information. I'm going to continue to return to the source in Utah. George, who maintains property records in Utah? In the state of Texas, it's the county clerk's office. So if I want to, my mom maintains records. That's correct, Jared. My mom, correct. Who maintains property records? My mom. So I go to my mom's house and I say, hey, do you have the foreclosure records? She goes, as a matter of fact, I do. When I find the foreclosure records at my mom's house, I then am going to look for the list. So let's do that together. You ready? Good morning. Come here, over here. Check this out. We're going to go find the records right now. So I go to the county clerk's office and then I find an announcement. The announcement looks something like this. Let's read it together. Notice the substitute trustee sale. Notice is hereby given that a public sale at auction. Wait a minute. How does this thing work? Come here. An auction, you go to the foreclosure auction. At the foreclosure auction, the bank, the lender, is going to get first bid. So JP Morgan, you said your mom, old school, baby. Old school, yeah. So you go to an auction, the lender, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Mr. Cooper. In the comments, who holds your mortgage? Do you know the name? Do you know the name of your mortgage company? Let me know in the comments. Good morning, Devin. Oh my gosh, good morning. Good morning. Do y'all want to know who puts the D in Devin? Oh, no, too early. Okay, we'll come back to that, Devin. Cheers. Good morning. Good to see you. Me, Lakeview. Lakeview Mortgage. Okay, so that lender is on the hook. So they lent money to somebody to buy the house. What is the best state to look to invest in real estate? The one that cash flows. Everybody type C in the chat for cash flow. Cash flow. What is the best state to buy in? The one that cash flows. Getting a little bit deeper, we don't buy in tenant-friendly states. We buy in landlord-friendly states. If you're going to put up the capital, you're going to put up the money, you're going to take on the risk, and you're going to deal with all the negative consequences, you better not let the state or the government give more rights to the people living in your house that you're going to rent out. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit deeper detail. We'll get into that later on. But let's stay here. Let's focus on this. So I go here and I find the actual announcement for the foreclosures. When I find the announcement for the foreclosures, I'm then going to look for the dollar amount. So not in New York. No. I would just do this. Search cost of eviction by state. The state of New York and the state of California are the highest cost of eviction. Explain. Melissa, can you phrase it as a question? Dance, monkey, dance, dance. A state, like if you have a state that gives more rights to tenants, you will have tenants that play the game, that know the system, and they will play the entire game. And so they can squat. They can stay on your property while you still have to pay the mortgage and pay the property taxes, all this stuff. And then you have to pay for legal expenses to fight them in court. And then they know the game. They know that they can do this for 3 months or 6 months or 9 months or 3 years. And then you're going to be footing the bill the entire time because you live in the wrong, because you purchased in the wrong state. But like in the state of Texas, in the state of Arkansas, you sneeze wrong, gone, see ya. Because so it's up to you. But I'm just saying, if you're going to invest money in an asset, make sure you buy where the laws benefit you. Cool? And you see that all the time. Just search like California squatters. Search New York State squatters. Go to the news tab and read articles about it. So those states are not landlord friendly. They will not protect you as the owner, which is crazy. So here we go. Back into this. The lender, whoever lent money on a foreclosure, which is originally was not a foreclosure, it was just a regular house, but then somebody stopped paying the bills, they're going to get first bid. So what we're looking for on this document is the debt. Everybody type D in the chat for debt. On the foreclosure announcement document, we are going to look for the debt amount. Alabama is super landlord friendly, 100%. As it should be. If you're taking the risk and you're putting up all the money and you're paying the property taxes, which funds the government, shouldn't the government anyway. D. What do you think about investing in Airbnb? I like cash flow, baby. If it cash flows, I've got some, love it. It doesn't work in every market, but the markets that it works in, it can crush. Cool, but we also have to look at other things. So the debt amount on this transaction is $175,000. What? Come here, check this out. So now that we know the debt amount, and the D is Sarah's favorite thing, nothing more does Sarah love than the D. That's right, the debt. The debt in this transaction is $175,000. And I like it. But I don't know if I should buy it. If I've got the D, what am I looking to pair that with? Let me know in the comments. You have some Airbnbs in San Antonio? No. Florida. Good morning. If it makes money, it makes sense. Amen. What if I've got good D? What do I want to pair that with? Let me know in the chat. V, Devin. Did you know that Devin has D and V in her name? Isn't that interesting? That's interesting, ain't it? I'm looking for the V. If I've got the D, I just want to find some V. How many of you agree with this? Yes or no? You need the V to have fun, baby. V. Everybody type V in the chat. V stands for V. What does V stand for? V. Good morning, Greg. Value. That's right, value. Value is what it's worth. Because I don't know if I should buy it. I know what it cost me. $175,000 is going to be the opening bid. It's going to be the opening bid. JP Morgan National Bank, Wells Fargo, 50 shots. 50 shots National Bank, bids $175,000. Now you and I have to decide, the DV combo, gotta have it. We got to decide if we should bid on this foreclosure. If you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets at Cashflow. If you want to hang out with us for free every day, just tap on the follow button somewhere up there. So how can I find the value? I take the address from the foreclosure announcement. Hear ye, we have thy foreclosure. I take the address from that document. I'm then going to go search from different resources to figure out what the value might be. I'm on Zillow. Is Zillow the most accurate? Nah, but it's going to give me a ballpark idea in 2 to 3 minutes before I invest 2 to 3 hours. You need to check the deed first. The deed has nothing to do with this yet. I don't even know if I should be looking at the deed. I want to figure out what is the opening bid and then what is the value. Love Zillow. Let's go, Allison. Allison, I love you. Good morning. So the value, according to Zillow, is $325,000. Well, wait a minute. Let's get inventory. If the opening bid, come here. If the opening bid is $175,000 And if the value is projected to be $325,000, how big is my PP? What is my potential profit on this transaction? If my value is $325,000 and the opening bid is $175,000, what is my potential profit? Good morning, Pedro. Good morning, sunshine. What is my potential profit on this transaction? How big is the PP on this one? Is that a big PP or a small PP? You tell me, boss. 325 minus 175, how big is the PP? Just put the PP size in the chat. How much is it? $150,000 is the size of that potential profit. Is that big or small? Is that a big PP? Type big. If that's a small PP, type small. How big is the potential profit? Big or small? Let me know. Medium, middle of the road, big. T. Jones. Big or small PP? Big, small, big. Good morning. $150,000? So if you buy this asset, you get $150,000 in potential profit. There's some meat on that bone. Jared, how do you know so much about meat? You barbecue for a living? Good morning. So I found $150,000 in potential profit. I'll take that PP all day. Sarah, I bet you will. I bet you will. Good. Yeah. A good woman is one with low standards. What? No. Stop it. Come here. So check this out. We found $150,000 in potential profit. There's no medium, only big or small. Okay, that's one way to look at it. I found the appraised value is $325,000. Step aside, Sarah. Let's go. The mortgage is $175,000. The potential profit is $150,000. I'm in. I dig it. I'm ready to roll. So I get my money ready. I'm ready to go to foreclosure auction. If you're new here, we're evaluating a foreclosure live. I get my cash. Let's go bid. Wait. Question. I love Sarah. Jack, get in line. Question. Can I borrow money before I go to a foreclosure auction? What do you think? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Nebraska mama. Can I borrow money before I go to a foreclosure auction? Can I get a loan to buy foreclosures? Yes or no? Jason working on that big diesel, baby. Jason, how are you commenting in here and working on diesels? I got questions. Of course you can. So the answer is yes, you can borrow money before you go to a foreclosure. I love Sarah too. Wow, lots of love for Sarah this morning. Good morning. Voice to text, I like your style. So I can borrow money before I go to foreclosure auction. Variety of ways. We'll talk about this in a minute of how you get this. You ready? But check this out. I'm ready to rock and roll. $150,000 in potential profit. Is there anything else I need to look for, or should I just go buy it? Of course, yeah, Irma, absolutely. Should I go buy it, or is there anything else I should go look for? What about liens? Everybody type L in the chat for liens. Appraisal T. Jones, that can help. Type L in the chat for liens. L in the chat for liens. Liens. A lien is a debt. A debt is a lien. Don't take that L, Golden Greek. Don't take the L. So if we're going to buy foreclosures, even though we've got $150,000 in potential profit, we need to look for liens. A lien is a debt is a lien. What does that mean? If I hire a contractor to renovate my bathroom, and they send me the final invoice on that bathroom remodel, and I don't pay it, that contractor now has legal right to put a debt attached to my asset, the property that he worked on. That's a lien. When I go to sell my house, that lien gets paid first because I owe him money on an unpaid invoice. So if I'm going to go out there and buy foreclosures, I need to look for liens. Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Shelly, welcome home, Shelly. Good morning. Shelly, what did you think of the book? Did you start the book? Did you like it? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Yes, you got it? Understood? Yes, let's go. Let's go. Okay, so now, where would I go? Come here, really quick, pop quiz. Where would I go to look for liens? Type the number in the chat. Would I go to step 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? What number would we go to? If I'm going to look for liens, who is going to keep the liens? Where would I go? D. No, Sarah. Numbers, not letters. Oh, no. Sarah's gone. Where'd I go? So I go to step 2, the source for the property records. That's where I would go. Title company, where does the title company? Ask the title company. Title company, where do they get their information from? Title company is a company. What does the law state? So bummed I forgot my earbuds. Ah! I just keep thinking about it. You're blinded, Sarah, with a D. That's my bad. That's my bad. Title Pro. That's exciting for you. Congratulations on your career. However, what is the law state? When you go to court and you have to fight, what is the law state? Well, I signed up with this company. No. We go to the source of the information. Step number 1, who maintains property records? Step number 2, in my state of Texas, that's the county clerk. So I go to the county clerk to look for any official records that are filed. That is what the law states here in Texas as the official record, not some other company that's going to pull that data from that source. Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type in for no. How do you think you learned this lesson? By having to go to court and do this. Good morning. Good morning. Let's go. Yes, awesome. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to go to the source, the county clerk in my state. I don't know what your state is. Got my first meeting. Take care, baby. I'm going to go to the county clerk. We're going to look for liens. Here we go. You ready? Let's go to the county clerk. Ding, 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 ding. We walk up to Dallas County Clerk. I walk in. I say, hey, I'm looking for liens. I found a foreclosure. They go, oh, yeah, no problem. Right here. There's notice of child support liens on this house. Huh? I go, how many? 1, 2, 3. If there are 3 child support liens, how many baby mamas are there? Let me know in the comments. If there are 3 child support liens, how many baby mamas are there? Wait a minute. How many baby mamas? Give me a quick check. 12. Wait, hold on. How's that work? 12 baby mamas? Probably 10. Funding guy, good morning. There are 3 baby mamas. Yep. That's where you find the lien. Hey, no. 3 child support liens, 3 baby mamas. Baby mama number 1 is owed $4,900. This is a lien on a foreclosure we're thinking about buying. $1,100 is owed to that baby mama. $24,000 is owed to that baby mama. I think my knees are getting weak. So let's take inventory of this entire equation. We found a foreclosure with a potential profit of $150,000. Cool. But I also found $30,000 in liens. So what's 150 minus 30,000? What is our new potential profit? 150,000 minus 30,000 equals what? 150,000 minus 30,000 equals what is my PP? How big is my PP? How big is my PP in this transaction? What is the potential profit, PP? 120. 120. That's how you get in trouble with weak knees. Let's go. 120. I like the deal. How many of you still like the deal? Even though we found unpaid child support liens, we still have a potential profit of $120,000. Do you still like it? Yes? No? Let me know. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Should we continue researching this foreclosure and maybe potentially buying it? Still in. That's what we like to hear, Jason. I'm still in. Yes? Yes? It's okay. PP still has my attention. Sarah! Oh, everybody say Sarah! Oh my gosh. Location matters, depends. We didn't ask what you're wearing. Good morning, Nassar. Yes. Okay, let's go evaluate the deal. $120,000 in potential profit. We find 3 child support liens. You can borrow money if you choose to. You can go to foreclosure auction. I got my cash. I'm ready to roll. I did notice that on the bottom of this page it said page 1 of 2. Should I look at page 2 or should I ignore it? Type 2 in the chat if you want to see it. I mean, I'm partial to the ostrich method. You just put your head in the sand. If I can't see it, it's not there. Or should we go to page 2? Okay, all right. So we're going to go to page 2. 3 child support liens. Nah, how bad could it be? That's what I'm saying. How bad could it be? So we go to page 2. There's 4 more child support liens. So these are our original 3 child support liens that we found. Then I found 4 more. 3 plus 4 equals what? 3 plus 4 equals what? I'm no math major. 3 plus 4 equals what? Aviator to the moon. It equals run. Equals he been busy. Equals 7. 7 child support liens. If there are 7 child support liens, how many baby mamas are there? Lord! 7 child support liens mean how many baby mamas? Let me know in the comments. Spoiler alert, it's the same number you already put in the chat. 7 child support liens from 7 different women. $33,000 is owed to that baby mama. That's a dangerous pee-pee. Yeah, what would you recommend this guy for some advice? What would y'all recommend? $30,000 in child support owed to that baby mama. $30,000 to that one. $39,000, $9,200, $24,000. All right, so let's get really quick inventory of this. We found a foreclosure. This foreclosure had a potential profit of $150,000. Cool. Gotham's running specials. Wrap it, Elizabeth. Wrap it. Then we found child support liens totaling $190,000. Now, my advice is to identify as a woman and join the WNBA draft. I like your style. $190,000. What is our new potential profit? In the comments, if you can help me out, a positive 150 minus 190 equals, good morning, Thailand, equals what? What is that number? It's negative $40,000. All right, well, I'm not going to buy this deal if I'm going to lose $40,000. So the lesson here is, although this young man lacks the ability to pull out, we are going to pull out. So in the comments below, will you type pull out? On this deal, what are we going to do? We are going to pull out. Yeah, not going to spend money to lose $40,000. It equals no PP. We're going to pull out. Everybody in the comments say pull out. Cheers. If you're new here, my name is Will. We go live all the time and we learn how to buy assets that produce profit. This was a foreclosure. We're not going to buy it. We're going to pull out. If you want to hang out with us every day, just tap on the follow button. Good morning. Pull out unless, okay, let's take a really quick pause for a second. It's barely 8 a.m. and you're in my comments typing pull out. Can you lock in? It's only Tuesday. It's not even like Thursday. It's not Friday. It's not the freaking weekend. You know what I'm saying? I need you to lock in. So here's what I would prefer you to do. Go grab a cup of coffee, tea, your Bible, and let's get back on track, okay? Good morning. Good morning, Annie Queen. Good morning, Allison. Allison, we were doing just fine. We were reading our Bibles. We were in Proverbs, learning about King Solomon. Then Allison Hill comes in here, and all of a sudden, we got PPs and Vs just flying all over the place. Allison's yelling, pull out. We need to lock in. Oh, my gosh. All right, so let's get back to Proverbs 29:13, and let's discuss how King Solomon overcame a lot of the trials and tribulations that he faced. Okay? All right? Or how many of you want to evaluate another asset? Don't gaslight me. I'm sorry. Good morning, Renee. You want to look at another deal? Type D in the chat. Type D in the chat for deal. You want to look at what? Who? Who are you talking about? Type D in the chat. And if you're new here, my name is Wet Willie. First name Wet, last name Willie. Yes, that is on my birth certificate. It's Latin, Wetus Willius. Good morning. We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets at Cashflow. You want to do another deal? Okay. What should we do? Okay, let's talk about this, lending. I had a lot of questions on this last week, and then a couple of them yesterday. I never answered it, so let's come over here. Let's talk about this. How do I find the money to buy the assets? Yes, I need another D. Okay, hold on. Okay, time out. Gentlemen, if you've got a D that you think is worth sharing, will you please slide into Vero Fund's DMs right now, send her a message and say, Daddy's home. Send me a screenshot of that and I'll send you a free foreclosure training. It sounds like she needs some D, and if you can provide that to her, that would be a great service. And I want to always support single moms, and so if you can go do that, please just slide in her DMs right now. Send me a screenshot of you slide in her DM saying Daddy's home. Cool? All right. She said she needs another D, and I think you could be her savior if you want to do that and go take care of that right now. But let's get into how do I find the money to buy the assets. One of the questions was about HELOCs, home equity line of credits. I'm going to explain what that is, how it works, the pros and cons of all the deals. Good morning. Yeah, they're Vero Fund. Go slide in her DMs, say Daddy's here. Sarah Gibbons is on break this week, but don't worry, we're going to get back in her DMs soon. Good morning. I know you're not putting me out there. Baby daddy, we don't need to spill my beans. What? My tea. Don't spill my tea. Yeah. Okay, here we go. How many of you have heard of a home equity line of credit, or you have equity in your house? Type E in the chat for equity. E in the chat for equity. How many of you have equity in your house? You've heard about home equity line of credits, all kinds of stuff like that. Let's break this down. I heard about it, but I don't know what it is. Okay, this is a great question. We get this often. Let's talk about it. So let's say that we have a house. So I've got an asset. Let's pretend that this house, come on now. Let's pretend the value of this asset is $100,000. And let's say currently you have a mortgage on it right now. Done. Let's go, Greg. Vero, go check your DMs, baby. You got lots of D's just flying all around you. So if I've got debt, AKA a mortgage on this asset, let's say hypothetically that my debt is $50,000. Now, there is a term that we all need to learn. Hola, mi amigo! Dude, how's that G-Wagon, baby? Good morning, sunshine. Good to see you. So let's pretend that my debt is financed at, let's just say, 3%. But there's a term that I want you to learn. It's called LTV. Everybody type LTV in the chat. Loan to value. LTV. Type it in the comments. I want you to learn the lingo as we go. Never be intimidated. You can learn anything you desire to learn. We just build on the building blocks of what we know, and it's stepping stones to get you to where you want to go. LTV, loan to value. What does this mean? This is something set by the lender, whoever you borrow money from. So loan to value. Let's say that you're going to get a loan, and the lender says, I'll give you 80% LTV, loan to value. Easy peasy, baby. I got you, Allison. 80%. So if your house is valued at $100,000, and the maximum loan they would give you is 80% of $100,000, what's the maximum loan they would give you? Jimmy the Fish, good morning, Montana. Let me know in the comments. What's the maximum loan they would give you? 80% of $100,000 is what? 80. So the max loan is going to be $80,000, right? So then there's a couple of different ways of you can access some of that money. If I already have a loan of $50,000 and the max I can get is $80,000, there's some equity inside of that house that I can tap into. My house is worth 100, I only owe 50. Okay, cool. How would this work? Let's go through some of the basics. Let's talk about a cash out refinance. So this is going to be a cash out refinance. I call my bank up. I say, hey, I want to take a loan out. They say, we'll give you 80% loan to value. Appraiser comes out. They appraise my value of my property of $100,000. They issue a new loan for $80,000. So I get a new loan, $80,000. What are today's interest rates? If I were to get a mortgage today, in the comments, let me know, what would my interest rate be? What are today's interest rates? Good morning. What would they be? What would I get? 7, 6, 7. About 8, 7, 6.5, 7, 6.7, 6.25, 6.9. Let's call it 6.5. 6.5, something like that, between 5 and 8. Call it 7, whatever. Okay, let's call it 7. Let's just go. So at 7%. So here's what would happen if I did a cash out refinance, not to be confused with a home equity line of credit. That's called a HELOC. Not that. Different. They would issue a very new loan. They would pay off the old loan. My 3% mortgage is gone. They pay it off. I take on a new loan of $80,000. Whenever good morning, Eddie. Good morning. Thank you, sunshine. You're so sweet. So they pay off the $50,000 loan. They issue an $80,000 loan. That means there is $30,000 in equity, and they cut a check to me for that money. That means they direct deposit $30,000 into my pocket. Why? They issued a new loan for $80,000. They paid off my $50,000 loan. The difference is $30,000. This gets direct deposited into my pocket. Is proceeds from a loan, are they taxed in the United States? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Good morning. Are proceeds from a loan taxed in the United States? That $30,000 that is direct deposited into my pocket, do I pay tax on that? Yes or no? No. You do not pay tax on loans in the United States. So that money comes in tax-free. That's awesome. That's great. However, that 3% loan that I had prior, it's gone. Now I'm paying interest on 7%. Is it good or bad? I don't know. It depends what you do with the cash. Depends what you do with this money. But what's another way that I could access some of the equity in my property? Same equation. Value, $100,000. Loan to value, the max the bank will give me, is 80%, new 80 loan. But let's say, man, I really like having a 3% debt. Well, check this out. This is called a home equity line of credit. So the maximum, I don't know what's going on here with the shapes. We're doing the best we can. I went to art school, but I did not graduate. It was tough. It was tough. They didn't give me crayons. They were giving me like watercolors. What the hell is a watercolor? I grew up with crayons. I want to stay in my comfort zone, please. So I get to keep my original debt at 3%. But then they're going to issue a new loan. A home equity line of credit is generally a little bit higher, a little bit more expensive. So then I'm going to HELOC the difference of $30,000, and let's call it 8%. So previously I would have paid 7, refinance the entire thing. Kindergarten repeater, only 3 years. Not that many, Jose. 8%, $30,000. I still get the same $30,000. I still access the equity inside of my house. But instead of refinancing and getting rid of that 3% original debt, I keep it. And I'm just going to borrow the difference, the equity that I have available. Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type N for no. If we understand it, I'll continue. If we don't understand it, I'll pause. Does this make sense? I get to keep my 3%. So my net cost is way lower. Because I access the same $30,000, it's a little bit more expensive, but a majority of the debt is still at 3%. This is one of the ways that's smarter to do it. Just depends on what your strategy is. So in this example, I get $30,000. In that example, I get $30,000. Over here, I pay a little bit more, but cumulatively, I pay less. So that's a home equity line of credit. You're tapping in just to the equity. You only pay interest on the equity. Or is it 2.8? Let's go, Amber. Good morning. Amber, is that your rate? Good morning. Good morning. And I think in my TikTok profile on my site, I think I've got HELOC, like my favorite HELOC loans or something. So if you're thinking about doing that and you want to price shop it, number one, I always recommend you figure out what you're going to do with that money before you take the money out. Don't start incurring cost unless you have a game plan for the cash. But I think I have a list of my favorite home equity line of credits in my TikTok profile. It's on my site. But come over here. Good morning. If you're new here, my name is Will. We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that produce profit. If you want to hang out with us every day, just tap on the follow button up here. Good morning. Good morning. Wait, don't you have debt of 2 loans now? I watch this whole thing, ask questions, and get ignored. What is your question? Yes, but how can we search a good lot for the building? Can you tell us about quick money lenders in the error method? Okay, hold on, let's go back. Somebody said, I've been watching this whole thing. My question gets ignored. Spoiler alert, you're not the only one in here. I'm not ignoring you specifically. I'm not like, hey, Billy Bob Joe Smith came in here. Let's don't talk to him. There's a lot of people in here. You're not the only one in the room. What is your question? I'm happy to answer it. But I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I'm blind. Yes, I can't see. How much more impressive would that be? Huh? This guy's blind? Dude, come on now. See, brilliant. Do food trucks work? Everything works. Everything. He ignores me sometimes too. Tell him, Willie. Come on, man. Yeah, I ignore Shelly because she's like, hey, what book do you recommend? I'm like, this one. I'm like, hey, did you listen to it or read it? She goes, no. What the? Dude, why did you? Rental house is already paid for, but want to get another rental. Home equity line of credit. It happens, Will. Loves everyone. Amen. Amen. He never talks to chat like ever. I'm literally talking to the chat right now. I've been asking you questions the entire time. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh. Okay. It's okay. Where'd my thing go? You ever just lose your marbles? Oh, it's over here. Good morning. All right. So what am I trying to catch up with? Rental house already paid for, but I want to get into another rental. Should I do a HELOC? Ooh, great question. Okay, Brad has a question. Let's answer. Let's see. How many of you want to answer this question? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Best asset to get in Africa, specifically Ghana. I am not the guy for that. What is the best asset to get in? Where is Africa? I don't even know. I looked at a map the other day, couldn't find it. I don't even know how to read a map. I don't know. I like how I said, do you want to answer Brad's question? Type Y for yes, type N for no, and Brad types Y. Brad's like, yes, please. Best asset to get in Africa. You're asking the wrong guy. I have no idea. Good morning. All right, come over here. Brad's question, rental house already paid for, but I want to get another rental. Should I do a home equity line of credit? Okay, Brad, do you have another property already lined up? Do you have another property lined up? How many of you are looking at assets right now? What type of asset are you looking at? If you're looking at rental properties, type R. If you're looking at short-term rentals or Airbnbs, type A. If you want to look at other assets, let me know what that asset is. Okay, Brad does have an asset that he's already looking at. Brad, tell me about the asset. What is the asking price? What is the value? Are you going to have equity in it from day one? What do you think your potential profit is going to be every month on the asset? Can you give me some of those numbers? Good morning. Rental, Airbnb. Love it, love it, love it. We'll cover a lot of this ground. Good morning. Storage, laundromat. Awesome. Laundromat, love it. I need to show you what Kristen's doing in Houston. She's crushing it. Kristen, are you in here? I don't know if Kristen's in here. She's going through permitting right now with her laundromat. Okay, so before I ever take money out of anything, before I ever incur a cost, I need to know what I'm going to do with the money. This is not rocket surgery. So if I've got an asset right now, Greg says he's got an asset completely. Good morning, Paula. Good morning, sunshine. Good to see you. So if I got an asset right now, and Greg says this thing's paid off. So he's got a paid off house. If his asset is worth something, property for insurance fraud, just kidding. Always good to see you. Oh, thank you. Always good to see you. So if this asset is paid off, and Greg's like, should I take money out of the asset? The things I need to know are, what are you going to do with the money? So just because you have equity doesn't mean you should take the equity out. And if you don't have any idea what you're going to do, you don't start doing it. You need to figure out what you're going to do before you do it. We play chess. We think several moves ahead. So what is the asset type? So let's pretend, for example, this is just a traditional rental property. There's two phases of every deal. There's the acquisition, how you buy. Then there's the cash flow, how you profit every month. How you buy and how you profit. Just a minute ago, we were learning about foreclosures. So in phase one, you could decide how you want to acquire the asset. Maybe rental is worth about $180,000. So that's this one. So let's say you find an asset, and let's say hypothetically it's worth $180,000. And in that market, you find foreclosures. And let's say foreclosures go for $50K. So you find a foreclosure, because this is the acquisition phase. So you find the foreclosure and you buy it at auction for $50,000. Let's say it takes $30,000 to repair it and get it up to fair market value, which you say is $180,000. So your total expense is going to be 80 grand. But then once you get done with this phase, you now have an asset whose value, hypothetically, is $180,000. Would you make this deal? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Would you make this deal? Y for yes, N for no. Good morning. Would you make this deal? Yes? No? Buy it for 50, put 30 in. Your total out of pocket is 80 grand, but now you have an asset that's worth 180. You would not make that transaction. Nelly, let's go. Yes, yes, of course. That's phase one. So this is equity inside of the deal. Phase two is, how do I cash flow it? Which is the name of the game. You pay your bills with cash flow, not net worth. Net worth means absolutely. Hope that's water you're drinking. This is cafe. El Cafe. And Devin, just like you know, I like it black. Good morning. So how am I going to cash flow it? Is it going to be a long-term rental? Is it going to be so on and so forth? That's the name of the game. Come over here. Let me show you. Y'all want to play a game? Y'all want to play a game right now? Can I show you how we find deals? So do I. Good morning. Good morning. Long-time rental. Long-time rental. Okay, cool. How many of you want to find a deal? Give me your zip code in the comments. Give me your zip code in the comments. And then let's hop over here. Boop. Okay. Let me see if I've got this pulled up. Yes, of course I do. What is your zip code? Okay, I'm going to try to catch your zip code. 77840. I don't know who that was, but I saw it. 77840. I got to get it down before I forget it. 77840. I almost forgot it. Okay, check this out. 77840 for sale. We're searching. Where's this at? College Station, Texas. Gig 'em. Come on, College Station. No, Devin. No, 23. No, get out of here, Virginia. All right, so check this out. Let's just pretend we're going to hop onto Zillow, but you could use whatever you want to do. We're just going to go find some kind of property. And this is College Station, Gig 'em. We're going to take care of the Aggies because we love some Aggies. And here we go. So I'm going to Zillow. All I did was take a zip code from the chat. I'm just going to find a market to analyze. And I find this property. This one has a price cut of $5,000. The asking price is $274. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,500 square feet. I'm going to take the address or the actual site to the listing. Either way, I could take the address right here, 1103 Haynes Drive, College Station, and then I'm going to go over to my property analyzer. This is a software that we built to find and evaluate assets that cash flow. And it's going to do a lot of the analysis for us. Let me show you what it's going to do here in a second. So let's jump over to our tools. Let's go to our property analyzer. Let's go to our calculator. And then I'm going to paste in the actual site. So Zillow, best software, it's so good. College Station, Texas. We're going to analyze the deal. So now what this is doing as it's running the property details, it's going to pull all the data for long-term rental rates. What are they getting in College Station, Texas? What if I want to do an Airbnb rental? It's going to pull all the short-term rental data. So I can see in that city, in College Station, in that zip code, on that street, if there are any other short-term rental property owners on Airbnb, I can see what they're charging per night. If they're on VRBO, I can see what they're charging per night. I can see their occupancy rate. I can see all of the data. So I've got long-term rental data. I've got short-term. Where's my avatar? Good morning, Gotham. I've got short-term rental data. And what about midterm? Midterm is somewhere in the middle. That's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Maybe since we're in College Station where the Texas A&M Fighting Aggies are located, there might be a PhD student or a grad student that's going to be there for 6 months. Well, that would be a midterm rental. Maybe it's a traveling nurse on assignment. That I can know that data too. So then I plug this in and I'm going to pull the data in the market. I can see that as a midterm rental, I'm going to get the highest monthly amount. Oh, wait a minute. What? Good morning, Diego. How do we access the software? How many of you want access to this software? Just say me in the chat. Say me in the comments. How do I get the analyzer? Let me show you how it works. Let me show you how it works. Me. Okay, well, let me show you how it works first. Let me show you how it works first, and then if you like it, and then we'll talk about it. So I can analyze. I can see this data. It's pulling the data directly, but it's also going to give me a cash flow analysis. It's going to break down, which is a basics in the beginning. You've got your PITI, your principal, your interest, your taxes, insurance. If I get debt, I have to service the debt. I have to pay for the debt. But then there's also other expenses like vacancy, repairs, capital expenditures, like your air conditioning, your HVAC system, furnace, roof, all that kind of stuff. Finally in, let's go, I think. Good morning, Allison. Yeah, Allison, just from experience, I can tell you, if you think you're in, but you're uncertain, and you have to ask yourself, am I in? You're not in. Just so you know, just for the record. You're either in and you know it, or you're not in. There's no in between. Amen? Anyways, change the subject. So it's going to run this analysis. Now, what if I run the analysis and the cash flow comes back and it's $240 in the red? Amen, Jason. Is this good or bad? Type G for good, type B for bad. So I run the analysis. Analysis comes back. How do you get a maybe? I don't know. You gotta ask the people involved. That's all. You just have to ask, like, hey, are we on the same page here? Now this is where we move back. Remember, over here, big pencil time. When I was talking about there's 2 phases to a deal, there's the acquisition of the phase, then there's the cash flow phase. Acquire. You ready? Acquire. Come here. Let's go back and acquire this. Now there's a couple of things that we could do to adjust the cash flow. One of the things that I could do to adjust the cash flow is instead of me getting outside financing at current interest rates of 7%, which is really tough. That's my own property. Come on now. Yes, with time it'll positive cash flow for sure. But what if I call them up? I call them up on my big pencil phone and I say, hey, Mr. Owner, you're trying to sell your house. I see you had a price drop of $5,000. I see you've been on the market for 93 days. I would love to buy your property, but I can't afford to buy it at 7%. I would lose money on this deal. Would you be open to talking to your mortgage company together and seeing if you have the type of mortgage that I can take over? Now, this is something we went through earlier this morning, but then if the owner goes, yes, I'm trying to sell the asset, I've been having a hard time, but I'm open to the conversation. I'm not committed to anything, but I'm open to talking about it. Okay, cool. So we call the mortgage company. By law, we understand FHA and VA loans and a variety of other loan types, by law, are required to be assumable. So let's say that they've got that kind of loan. I take over that loan. Instead of the interest rate being 7%, let's say, I don't know, like it's 4.125. I don't know. Good morning, Renee. Thank you. Thank you, Renee. Appreciate it. 4.1. How does that affect my cash flow? Well, instead of losing, what was it, like $240 a month? Now I'm in the positive. 157. Okay, it's the green. Green is good. That's the reason we play this game. But it may not be enough for us to move the needle. Oh, man. Sometimes people just bounce right here. They say, man, College Station is just not the market. It's just not the market. But it could come down to the asking price. Check this out. I'm going to go to the very bottom of the analyzer. Are you ready? If you're ready, type R in the chat. If you're not ready, say no. Are you ready? Before I got it. I'm going to show you something, and I don't want to knock your pants off. We had that happen last time I was doing this. It was total chaos. A lot of people in the chat were going, oh my God, what happened just now? I'm like, hey, I told you. You ready? R, Supdog said no. Okay, Supdog, time for you to scroll. All right, so now I'm going to come down here. You ready? Hell yeah. I was so embarrassed. Yeah, it happens, Jason. It happens. Okay, so now we're going to come down to the bottom. And then what does this say? If the asking price is too high, this is where the pants fall off. So hold your belts, tighten up the suspenders, whatever you got to do. I can find nearby foreclosures. Maybe the asking price is too high. I stay ready. That's why Vero Fun never wears pants. She just is always ready. I can find foreclosures. If the asking price is too high, then I can just go search for other assets. Let's go find, what is the opening bid on this transaction? Let me know in the comments. What is the opening bid? Can you read the number, type it in the chat. What is the opening bid? Let me know. Good morning. What is the opening bid on the property? What's the number? $65,000. The asking price originally was $275,000. But what if I find a foreclosure in the exact same market, in the exact same zip code? College Station, Texas, Sycamore Drive, starting bid, $65,000. Oh! If the asking price is the thing that is preventing the deal from cash flowing, we may need to adjust our strategy in the acquisition phase, which means I acquire differently. This way, I go left and I find a $65,000 opening bid. I bid on it. When it gets up to a certain price point, I don't buy it. I stop bidding, and then I just reset. So let's say, hypothetically, we buy a property for $65,000. Let's say the bidding starts at $65,000. Let's say it runs up to $165,000. So instead of me acquiring this property in the same market for $274,000, you ready? Good morning. Instead of buying this property for $274,000, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a foreclosure auction, like I was teaching you earlier. And maybe this is how we acquire the asset. Let's say it runs up to 168, 165, something like that. Well, number one, that's a 39% discount. It's all about the angle of attack. Amen. Would you be interested in something like this? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Be right back. Allison, I'll be waiting. Y for yes, N for no. And then number two, how does this affect our profit? Let's go down here and take a look at our cash flow analysis. How does it affect it? Previously, it was losing $200 a month. Then we did a assumable loan. It went up to like cash flow profit of $175. Now we're in the cash flow of $581. All because we will look for liens for sure. Where do I go to do that? The county clerk's office in Texas. Now I have a cash flow of $581. So that's a $700 total swing from like negative $274 a month to a positive $581. What? And we did it all in one shot. All I needed was your zip code that you wanted to search in. Then we plugged it in to the property analyzer, and I did all that research on one page. I'm not bouncing all over the place. It's all in one location, doing one analysis one time. What? Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Yes, but what is the rate at auction? You don't know it's an auction. You can go and I can go. We bid against each other. You don't know until you're there. Good morning. But the property isn't up for auction. The property is up for auction. Here's all the properties that are up for auction in the exact same area that you're buying in. Does this make sense? Cool? If I'm looking at an asset in a zip code and the guy that's trying to sell it wants $1 bazillion, it doesn't mean I buy that specific property. I can find one next door to him that can command the same income every single month. And I buy that one. Or I find a foreclosure along the street in the same market with the same job opportunities. The same thing's moving to the market that's going to cause it to increase in value. And it's also going to cash flow every month. Does this make sense? Somebody in the chat was like, yeah, but the property you were looking at is not for auction. You're missing the point. Everybody else, does that make sense? I don't need that property to go to foreclosure. I need to understand the market's going to cash flow. And if that property is listed too high, I go somewhere to an... Cool? Awesome. Awesome. So how many of you want the software? Yes, I'm lost. That's okay. You will one day be found. Amen. We keep searching. We keep seeking. Oh, he was talking about something else. My bad. My bad. I'll back up a little bit. Okay. I want the software. Okay, let me go back to the software. How do I get to the software? Answer. You can't. I'm sorry. I love you. I love you. You can't have it. We built this software specifically for my Passive Income Club members only. If you're a member of our group, Devin is, and she's not even using it. Oh my gosh, it's only for our group. So if you're a member of the Passive Income Club, it's inside the group, and you have free access to it. Shelly has free access to it. Gotham has free access to it because they're members of the Passive Income Club. Devin has access to it, but she doesn't use it. Devin, you know what they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. It is not for sale. You don't have it. I can't figure out where it's located. Devin, go into the group, into the community. It is pinned. It says Devin, look right here. Come on, Devin. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so you can't have it. It's not for sale. It's not publicly available. It's only for my Passive Income Club members. How many of you still want it? Say me. If you want access to it, you can't buy it. But hear me on this. For a very limited time, if you join the Passive Income Club, you can get it. It's included for free in your membership, but it won't be there for long. If you want access to it, I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but it may be in my TikTok profile on my site. If you can figure out how to get there, but I'm not going to push it. Good morning. Okay, that was it. All done. You ready? That wasn't the point of this entire training. It is included for free if you join as a member, but I would rather sell it because I'll make more money. Can I be real with you? Can I tell you the truth? I'm never going to lie to you. So I'm not really going to push promotion to that, okay? But we got some other stuff in the works that we're working on. Can I show you some other, laundromat? Okay, all right, let's go to laundromat. Let's go to laundromat. Let's go over here. Oh, by the way, and if you become a Passive Income Club member, if you are a member, you're grandfathered in. At no other point in time would you ever be charged. You're guaranteed to always have access to it. So whenever it is ready to sell publicly, and I charge a lot more for it, you're grandfathered in, you got it. As long as you're a member, you got it forever. Cool? All right, cool. All right, let's go here. Somebody said laundromat. To the laundromat we go. You have been disclaimed. Good morning, Gotham. Speaking of Gotham, should we jump into tax savings? We found out that Gotham has 5 more baby mamas. They have contacted him. They have found him. So Gotham, what does that get to? What number are you at? How many baby mamas do you have right now? Let me know in the comments. How many of you want to jump into tax savings and hiring your kids, S corporation, deducting travel? 10 more. Oh my gosh. Paula, be careful. Gotham's in New York City. You're in Boston, Massachusetts. You're close proximity. Next thing you know, it happens. I've seen it. I mean, I haven't experienced it because of obvious anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't know what we're talking about. We're going to move on, talk about something else. Okay, you ready? Dang, Gotham, put that thing away. I'm telling you, it's out of control. And he's got his minutes back. Gotham has rollover minutes. He's a menace. It's all over. All right, I'm not going to walk you through structure. If we get time, we'll get into this. But let's go over here. Let's talk about laundromat. If I get a chance, I'll show you some behind the scenes on how we evaluate some of these deals. How many of you are going to have a big tax bill this year? How many of you, I'm good, I was spayed. Good morning, good morning. How many of you are gonna have a big tax bill and you know it? Just say me in the chat. I'm gonna walk you through some of the strategy that you can implement. I can't, the Dark Knight Rises. Yo, this is getting out of control. How many of you are gonna have a big tax bill? You know it, me. Okay, so I want you to know at this point in the journey, on August 18th, you don't have to have a big tax bill when it comes April 2027. You have between today and December 31st to do something about it. So a little bit of your tax bill is voluntarily. You don't have to. I went exempt. Okay, you're still going to owe at the end of the year. right? Because you're just not having withholding happening. So I want you to understand really quick, just baseline knowledge for us before we get too deep. And trust me, we can get deep. Before we get too deep into this, a tax year starts January 1st. If a tax year begins on January 1st, when does it end? Let me know in the comments. P. Mathis, the accountant, let's go. Go deep. I am, baby. I am. When does it end? December 31st. I don't know if you know this, just so you remember, today is August 18th. So you have between today and December 31st to do all you can. Now, there's a few things you can do last minute between December 31st and April 15th, but those are not tax permanent savings. It's delay. Oh, wrecking stuff over there. I tear it up too. I will tear it up. That means you have things that you can do. So if you're anticipating paying a lot in taxes, we need to learn the things that we can do to pull down our tax bill between now and the end of the year. Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type N for no. You've got plenty of time to do something, but you have no time to waste. Let me show you some of the things that we can do. Speaking of laundromat, let's jump to it. Oh, I did break my little countdown timer. Come on, dog. What on earth? And just want you to know that I installed this myself. In case you can't tell, that's why it always falls down and breaks. Waste no time. All right, so check this out. Whether you're a business owner, whether you're an employee, if you go out there and you acquire assets, those assets can help you lower your taxable income. Let's take laundromat as an example because somebody was asking about it. So if I go out there and buy a laundromat, the first thing I want it to do is to produce profit. Everybody in the comments type P for profit. Try to focus. What are you talking about? I will tear it up. Type P in the chat for profit. Profit. Now this may seem obvious to you that of course if I'm going to buy something like an asset, it needs to produce profit. Duh. Well, oftentimes somebody's tax paying can be so high. They would rather go buy a brand new car, which is a depreciating asset that's going to cost them money. They would spend $100,000 on a vehicle to save them $25,000 in taxes. The math doesn't math in those situations, but I get it. First D's, now P's. Baby, can we live? Can we live? We don't judge. We don't judge. We listen. We don't judge. So, I mean, hey, Shelly, no, Shelly. Oh, not the cars. Shelly, can we pause for a second? Shelly, how many more indicators do you need from the universe to tell you that you need to start making content? Shelly, do you hear me on this? Do you hear me on this? Yes or no? How many more indicators from the universe do you need to tell you that you need to start making more content? All right, so anyway, so I want to make sure this thing produces profit, so let's evaluate it for profit first, tax savings second. If it produces profit, I continue to research it. Number two, tax savings is just icing on the cake. Cool? All right, so here we go. Asking price is $350,000. Revenue, $180,000. That's my top line. Revenue is income directly from the customers before expenses. After all my expenses, I've got profit of $63,000. 63 grand? Baby, I'm in. I like it. It's got profit. Now there's something called FFE. Everybody in the comments type FFE. We obviously are familiar with what profit means, but we need to talk about FFE. Call Brinks. Tell him to bring the truck. Furniture, fixtures, equipment. $63,000 a year. That's our profit per year. FFE. FFE. Furniture, fixtures, equipment. I want you to remember and retain this. Now, when you buy certain businesses or certain assets, you can add up all the furniture, all the fixtures, and all the equipment inside of the asset. So in this example, we buy a laundromat. We add up all the economic value of the equipment, washers, dryers. The FFE, the total FFE, is $231,000. And I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do with that. But let's break down some terminology. Terminology piece number one is called depreciation. What is depreciation? Why would somebody sell a high profit business? This is such a good question. Then we'll get to depreciation. I don't know. Let's think about this. Let me pen the comment. Boop. Why would somebody sell a car that runs? Why wouldn't they wait until the car breaks down and then sell it? Why would somebody sell a car that runs perfectly fine? Why wouldn't they wait until the car breaks down? Wouldn't somebody just take a perfectly good car and run it down? Why would somebody sell a business that's making money? Why wouldn't they run all the profit out of the business, then sell it? When do you make more money? When you sell a thing. When it works or when it doesn't work? Just because something works doesn't mean it shouldn't be sold. Does this make sense? This is a common question. I'm not knocking you for asking it, but you want to sell something. If you're going to sell a business, if you had a business that you were running, you were working on the business, would you want to get that business as profitable as possible before you sold it? Or would you want it to be as terribly run business as possible, then try to sell it? You want that thing to make as much money as you can. Because when you sell a business, when you sell an asset, you generally get a multiplier on the revenue. Just because something's broken, just because something's working doesn't mean it shouldn't be sold. One of the reasons I bought a multifamily property in Waco, Texas was through a divorce. The divorce decree stated one of two things needed to happen. Number one, the owners needed to buy the other party out, or they would sell it and split the proceeds. So one of the reasons that people sell things is divorce decrees. Another reason is people retire. Do you think at some point in time, if you owned an asset, some point in time you would want to not be working the asset, not be running the asset? Yes or no? Type Y for yes, type N for no. In the moment that you're in right now, you might want to own things. You might love the idea of going to work a laundromat, but at some point in time, you may not like that idea anymore. Cool? So retirement is another strategy. One of our passive income club members, Kyle, bought a self-storage facility in Fountain Inn, South Carolina. Shout out to South Carolina. And he bought it because the owner passed away, the kids inherited it, and they didn't want anything to do with the asset. So one of the reasons that he buys an asset is because somebody passed away. There's a variety of different reasons, but profit is not an indicator that it should not be sold. Cool? Great question, by the way. Glad we got to have the conversation. So furniture, fixture, equipment. Let's understand depreciation. What does that word mean? It's a big word. It's got lots of syllables in it. Let's break it down. Depreciation. If I buy a television at the store today, and I bring it home and I unpackage it and I watch the TV, and I go, man, I don't like this TV anymore. And tomorrow I have a garage sale and I sell the same TV. Can I sell it for the same price that I bought it for? Type S. Or would I have to sell it for less? Type L. Let me know in the comments. Would I sell it for the same price? Type S. Or would I sell it for less? Good morning. Good morning, Rico. You tell me. Bought it brand new. Didn't like it. I sell it at a garage sale. I would have to sell it for less. That's depreciation. It went down in value. When you buy and own assets, the IRS recognizes that depreciation, things going down in value, it happens. But because you're now an owner, you can subtract that from your taxes. You can take depreciation as an actual expense on your taxes. On a Schedule E tax return, it's on line 18 if you want to go research it. Now that we understand what depreciation is, I've got two options. Option number one, I can take standard depreciation, meaning I can spread the depreciation out over the time, the life of the asset. Or option two, I can accelerate depreciation and take it all into the first year. There's material participation test, but if I choose to accelerate, check this out. I've got a $231,000 depreciation deduction. What does that mean? Well, let's break this down. You ready? If my income, whether it's from a W-2 job or a business, is $231,000, and I take a depreciation deduction, and I've got a deduction of $231,000, what is my taxable income? Let me know in the chat. What's my taxable income? Good morning. What is my taxable income? Rico, 0. Vinny, 0. If I was in a 25% tax bracket, I would have paid $57,000 in taxes? Was that my tax bill? 57K? Something like that? But because I'm not, because my taxable income is 0, 25% tax rate times 0 equals nothing. There's nothing left to tax. Anything times 0 equals 0. So you saved $57,000 in the year that you bought, placed in service the asset, and accelerated the depreciation. That means you saved $57,000 in the year that you bought the asset. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Now, I'm not saying you should do this. I'm just saying this is available to you. So this is why we buy assets that produce profit. And if you choose to, the math is mathing. And if you choose to, you can take year one depreciation deduction. Or you could spread it out over time. That's all a part of the tax plan. Cool? Good morning. Good morning. Y'all want to do a little bit more? Type Y for yes, type N for no. That's assuming that's your only income. That's not assuming that's your only income at all. That's assuming that's your only deduction. I said the income was 231. This income's 63. Good morning. Yes? Okay, let's do a little bit more. Here's what I'll do. Oftentimes when I start teaching tax savings, people are like, hey, help. Can you help me out? I'm going to give you a couple of different things. Number one, I'm going to give you 5 questions that I ask when I interview a CPA. My name is Will. I own a CPA tax firm. I'm in all 50 states. We specialize in helping people lower their taxes, maximizing tax savings. I'm going to give you 5 questions that I use when I interview CPAs. I've interviewed over my career over 100 different accountants. I'm going to show you step by step what I do and how I ask them questions so you can make better informed decisions about who you hire to help you with your tax savings. And as I'm doing this, I'm going to open up free tax savings estimates. If you need tax savings help and you want to sit down for free and estimate if there's tax savings available to you, I'm going to open it up, but I can't keep the capacity high. So I'm going to set a timer for like 20-ish minutes. And in that time, we're going to talk about tax savings. I'm going to teach you some of the questions that I ask when I interview CPAs. And when the timer's out, I'm going to move. I'm going to pull the tax call. So you can't get more tax savings calls after that. All right, so here we go. Let's start the timer. I think we're up 26 minutes, ready to rock. So to book a free tax savings call, you only have 26 minutes to do it. To book a free tax savings call, go to my TikTok profile. When you're in my TikTok profile, tap on my site. When you tap on the site, it'll pop up and look like this. It says free tax savings call. This will be available while the timer's on. When the timer goes away, this goes away. So if you want to book a free tax savings call, they're only available now. After the timer goes away, the price goes up to $11 billion. What? No. There's actually no availability. You couldn't even pay for it. I love you. Cool. Here we go. So the thesis that we talk about all the time is it's an all-in-one approach. How do I maximize tax savings? How do I get assets that produce profit? How do I grow my income? And how do I get financially free without waiting until I'm 103 years old? I don't want to do that. So what we're going to focus on is tax savings in this conversation. But what we talk about all the time is how do I get assets that grow my income? And then everything feeds everything else. It becomes a machine. That's your cash flow machine. That's how you get financially free. Should we talk about Conway Fitty? Oh, that's Kanye Twitty. My bad. That's Conway 50 Cent. This is Conway Twitty. We'll get into tax law in just a minute. I need more deductions. Got them. No. Got them. No. You do not need more deductions. I know what you're saying. And you don't need that. So come over here. Let's talk about this. We talked about this strategy yesterday, but let me just recap it for you. You ready? Really quick. So one of my clients earned $360,000 in income. That's awesome, right? How many of you want this? Yes? How many are like, wait a minute, that would be a decrease in income? Say no. No, boo. I don't want to go down, I want to go up. That's awesome. What's not so awesome? She also owed Uncle Sam $146,000 in taxes. So she calls me. She's like, Will, help. I go, are you okay? Is it an emergency? She goes, yes. I go, call 911, and I hang up. She called me back. She goes, no, stop it. I go, what's the emergency? She goes, I owe Uncle Sam $146,000. I go, oh. I said, that sucks to be you. She goes, stop it. I go, I'm just kidding. I go, what's going on? She goes, I've got good news and I got bad news. I go, okay, what's the bad news? She goes, the bad news is I owe Uncle Sam $146,000. I go, yeah, that sucks, man. I go, what's the good news? She goes, the good news is I got the money. I said, well, don't call me, call him. Send him the money. She goes, no, I'm calling you because there's still time for me to lower my taxes. Because when is the end of tax season? When is the end of tax time? If the tax time starts January 1st, when does it end? What is a tax year? January 1st to what date? Let me know in the comments. We talked about this earlier, but let's recap. April is when you pay. When is the tax year? When are they collecting? December 31st. December 31st. I phrased the question weird. That's on me. December 31st, January 1 is when you start earning income and you're stacking deductions or tax credits. December 31st is when they wrap the books. So you have between now, August 18th, and December 31st to do something. We better do something about it. So she calls me. This is like springtime. I don't know, like May or June or something. Go deep. Yo, P. Mathis, yo. So $146,000 is owed if she doesn't do anything about it. She goes, Will, what can I do? I say, all right. We're not going to do one thing. We're going to do all. What are all the things available to me to lower my taxable income? I said, I got you. So we did everything that she wasn't doing. We implemented hiring the kids of the business. We did ERC credit when that was a thing. We walked through this and that and this and that. And we implemented everything that legally was available. We've got about 175, 185 different tax strategies that we go through, and everything that's applicable, we show you how to do. Cool? So, in conclusion, she went from a $146,000 tax bill. She no longer has to pay that tax bill. It's gone. Adios. Everybody say bye-bye. Type B in the chat for bye-bye. $146,000 tax bill. It's gone. Adios. Gone. She doesn't owe it anymore because we started implementing tax savings. Furthermore, and I'm going to show you some of the things and how you implement those too. When she was making her quarterly estimated payments, she's withholding taxes. She's paying that ahead of time. She got some. She didn't get all of it back. She got some of it back in the form of a tax refund. $163,000 between tax deductions and tax credits. She had a net swing of $163,000. She's got the original cash on hand. She no longer has to send that bill in, and she got another $16,000. So now she's sitting on $163,000 cash because no more tax bill. She calls me. She goes, Will, thank you. I go, you're welcome. She goes, what do I do with the money? I go, what do you mean? She goes, I got this money from the tax savings. What do I do with it? I said, you can take me on vacation. She goes, stop it. I go, okay. I go, what do you want to do? She goes, I want to do the asset thing you talk about. I go, oh, now that's my love language. So then we take her tax savings and we start looking at deals. She wants to get into a very passive asset, which you can automate like self-storage. That's one of the calls we did last night in the group. So she finds a self-storage facility listed for $370,000. She takes her tax savings. She uses that as a down payment. She buys the self-storage facility. The self-storage facility has an NOI. Everybody type NOI in the chat. I want to teach you as we go. Type NOI. The self-storage facility has an NOI. Net operating income. NOI. Net operating income. NOI. So that is the profit from the asset before you get debt. So you've got revenue, then you subtract out expenses like utilities, electricity, property taxes, things like that. Then that's your NOI, that's your net operating income. But that's before the debt. So she takes her tax savings, she uses that as a down payment to buy the asset. The asset gives her a net operating income of $41,000. She gets a little bit of debt with the down payment. Her net profit on this transaction is $25,000 a year. In conclusion, she takes tax savings, she buys a self-storage facility that gives her $25,000 in profit. Tax savings one time turns into an asset that pays her profit for a lifetime. What? This is the game. How many of you want to learn how to do this? Just say yes in the comments. Tax savings one time from 1 year buys her an asset that pays her for a lifetime every year. This is the conversation that you should be having with your accountant, with your accounting team, with your tax professional, with your CPA. Just because they have a CPA credentialing doesn't mean they're going to help you do stuff that's going to get you to your financial destination. You hear me on this? Which is why I offer the free tax savings calls. But it's only for 19 more minutes. When the 19-minute timer goes away, you can't save your spot because I'm going to pull this down. If you want to book a free tax savings call with myself or my team, go to my TikTok profile. When you get to my TikTok profile, tap on the site. When you tap on the site, this pops up. Free tax savings call. Go there now. When the timer runs out, I'm pulling this down. Rico says, yes, you just need to get to the $300,000 revenue first. Wrong. Wherever you are, there you are. You don't, I love you, but that's such a backwards way of thinking. Well, let me get rich first and then I'll get rich. What? No. You improve. You're efficient with what you have. I'm working on a training right now, but like, in order for you to get more, you have to increase what you have now. What does that mean? How can I get more by increasing what I have now? That doesn't make any sense. You have to increase your capacity. The reason you don't have more, like if we're talking financially, the reason you don't have more financially is because you can't handle more. Respectfully. You would have more, but you can't handle more. You say you want to eat, but then you complain about there's too much on your plate. I don't understand. It's not about getting to wealth and then you figure out how to handle the wealth. You got to handle what you got now. You don't need $300,000. You need to be tax efficient with what you've got. Cool? Does that make sense? Oftentimes, the highest taxed people are not the highest income people. I want to handle more. Gotham, no. Okay, everybody except you. Everybody except you, Gotham. Gotham says, I can handle it. I can handle it. All right, let's get into more. Let's come over here. Let me show you some of this. How many of you are planning to travel soon? Going on vacation? I definitely want to handle more. Yo. What about the money you don't really have? Income, tax savings, assets. It's 3 pillars. I talked about that in the beginning. If you lack one, you focus on it. You have to control your income. If you don't control your income, somebody else does. So if you have an income problem, we focus on the income problem. Once we have an income problem, then we solve that. Then we have a tax problem. Then we solve that. Then I take the tax savings and I use that to buy assets. Do you see how they feed each other? What if I don't have the income? Okay, what are some skill sets that I can develop? How can I take those skill sets and demonstrate to the marketplace that my skills can improve and help people? Then I can charge for the skills that I have. Then I take the profit from those skills and then I reduce my taxable income. I save on taxes. I take both of those pieces of profit and then I use it to buy assets. Those assets kick off income whether I'm there or not. So on and so forth. Cool? I'm going on vacation soon. How can I deduct that? How many of you are planning to travel? Type T in the chat for travel. How many are planning to travel? Let me show you step by step some of the game. Step by step. All right, here we go. Travel, type T. ShamWow time. ShamWow. Okay, we're going to walk through this. I'm going to show you step by step how we play this game. And let's get into it. Okay. So there's so many tax deductions out there that oftentimes it's hard to figure out what exactly you need to do. There's so many words flying around that it's hard to comprende. Like, what? Yeah, but what do I do specifically? So in the comments, if you're planning to travel soon, where are you going? Give me some places in the chat. You going to Florida? You going to California? Let me know. Yes, but at my age, 67. Hey, Vinny, plenty of time, none to waste. Michigan, wait a minute. What's up, Michigan? What's up, Spain? What's up, Cameroon? All right, California, dude, going to California. It's Sean, F-A-F-O. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's take Shelly. Shelly's planning to travel. Let's take inventory on what Shelly's doing. Shelly has a Turo business. Shelly is going to start doing content creation. Is that right, Shelly? Shelly, how many indicators do you need from the universe to tell you to go all in on content? So Shelly's going to generate leads for her business. She's also got antique tea time is what I'm going to call it. Tea time, like Pinky's out. To Gingerman Raceway. Yeah, so she's got a Turo business. She's got a race car company too. So she's got this. So in Shelly's situation, she's unlocked the schedule seat. Let's put this over here because that's nerd mode. Let's put this over here for our citation, but it doesn't need to be the main demonstration. Okay, here we go. So Shelly's got some stuff moving on. Yes, do a content thing, and I'm going to the track. Amen. Love it. Okay, so she's going to travel. So Shelly's going to jump on an airplane or in a car and travel from South Carolina to Michigan. She's planning to do this. She's planning now. If you want to save on taxes and deduct travel, type D in the chat for deduct travel. I'm going to walk you through step by step how you would do this. Step number one is we plan ahead, and we need to document the planning. So Shelly's going to send an email to meet with. How many of you want to invest in real estate? Just type R in the chat for real estate. Or you want to buy Airbnbs, type A in the chat. I'm going to give you some examples of how you can do this live right now. Type A in the chat. By the way, I have free tax savings estimation calls. I'm going to show you step by step how to do this. But if you want to book a free call with myself or my CPA tax team, I'm in all 50 states. We specialize in helping people lower their taxes. You have 14 minutes to do that. When the timer runs out, I'm pulling this down. To book a free tax call, go to my TikTok profile. When you get to my TikTok profile, tap on my site. When the site pops up, it says free tax savings call. When the timer runs out, I'm pulling this down. To get to my TikTok profile, you see the green face? Just tap on the green face in the top corner here. It pops up. Tap on the green face again. Then you get here, there. Come here. Check it. back over here to the board. So she's going to plan ahead. Assets, real estate, Airbnb, all that kind of stuff. She's going to plan ahead. So let's say that Shelly wanted to buy real estate like you. You ready? She's going to email a real estate agent in Michigan because that's where she's going. She says, hey, I live in South Carolina, but I'm coming to Michigan specifically because I want to buy real estate. I'm looking at Airbnbs. I'm looking at traditional residential real estate properties. Can we schedule time to do some showings? What? So she's going to pre-plan. Step number 1 is to plan. When she sends an email, does she have documentation of this trip? Yes or no? Type Y for yes, type N for no. So she sends an email. Hey, I'm planning to come up there. I'm a real estate investor. Or maybe she has a business. So she's going to pre-plan meetings that serve her business. She's going to document who, what, when, where, why, how. So now if it's a business situation, who, what, when, where, how. And then what is the purpose of the business? What purpose? How does this serve your business? I shop for Turo cars in Daytona. So she's got a Turo business. So maybe she's going to go up there and she's looking at Turo cars. She emails people, hey, I see your car's for sale in Michigan. I can't find this type of car in South Carolina. I want to schedule time to meet you and look at the car and see if it runs. If Shelly's going to buy a car for her Turo business, a Turo business is where you own cars, you rent them to people, people pay you to rent your car. She does very well. Shelly's profit per car is between $600 and $800 a month per car. Profit after all expenses per month. Cool. If you're going to buy a car for your business and you have a car rental business, would you want to test drive the car before you bought it? Y for yes, N for no. Y for yes, N for no. Would you want to test drive the car before you bought it? Yes. 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 So she's going to send an email. Hey, I'm going to be there in Michigan. Why? Because I'm looking at cars for my business. And I'd love to test drive the car. Can I schedule a test drive with you? Yes. But what if Shelly's also going on vacation? What if she wants to hang out with her bestie, Sarah Gibby? Check this out. Here's how you deduct the entire trip. This is called bookending or sandwiching your vacation. So Monday, let's call this Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we've got Saturday, we've got Sunday. So let's say Shelly flies in on a Thursday. Shelly flies in on a Thursday. Because it's a travel day, according to IRS tax law, travel days are tax deductible. When you're flying from South Carolina to Michigan, that's definitely a travel day. So Shelly gets to the airport at 9 a.m., 11 a.m. Sarah picks her up. Then they do a girls' day. They're doing this, they're doing that. They're checking out Detroit. They go find the big D together. They go, wow, this is a big D. That's deductible. Friday, Shelly has a pre-planned Turo meeting to look at the car that she's thinking about buying for her business. How does this benefit her business? Because she can expand her fleet. She takes her email documentation. She attaches it to her calendar. She documents. She takes a selfie with the person that she meets with. Sarah's there at the test drive. She videos Shelly driving the car going, yeah, this thing might work. That is going to be the documentation for the business meeting that she had. Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Does that make sense? The question was, how do I deduct my travel? One of the examples I'm walking through is called sandwiching your vacation. Yes? Sus. 5. So now Shelly deducted the travel day, which is a Thursday. Friday, she did some work. She had a couple of appointments, proved the business. And then the rest of the day, does the IRS care that later on that afternoon, Shelly and Sarah go do like personal stuff? They go get the nails done, mani-pedis. They go to Sarah's place. They bake some sourdough bread and pretzel buns. They don't care. No. What about Saturday? Is Saturday a business day or a personal day? Type B for business, type P for personal. Is Saturday a business day or a personal day? According to like federal guidelines. Personal. So you don't have to do anything on business on Saturday. What about Sunday? Is Sunday a business day or a personal day? Type B for business, type P for personal. Good morning. If you're new here, my name is Will. We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets and maximize tax savings. If you want to hang out with us every day, come up here and tap on the follow button. So you don't need to do any business. Then Monday rolls around. Shelly sandwiches another meeting. So for Shelly's Turo business, she scheduled, pre-planned, before she even left South Carolina to go to Michigan, she pre-planned a car meeting. So good morning, Pink Freckles. So she meets with another person selling their car. She needs to test drive the car for her Turo business. She takes a selfie with the person. She documents who, what, when, where, why, and how that's going to benefit the business. Sarah videos her test driving, doing donuts in the Walmart parking lot. She's going, I think this one might work, but I don't know. Let me get back to you. She documents that. And then the next day she flies home. So they continue to do personal stuff in the afternoon, the travel day. The entire trip becomes tax deductible because Shelly pre-planned it. She didn't just do it on a whim. She pre-planned it weeks, months in advance. She deducted the Thursday when she landed. That's a travel day. She did some work in the morning on Friday. The afternoon, her and Sarah did personal stuff. Saturday's a personal day. Sunday's a personal day. Monday, she does a little bit of work stuff. Then she does personal stuff. Tuesday's a travel day. That entire trip is tax deductible. What things, the whole week, yes, what things are deductible in this transaction? If Sarah's like, I don't want you to stay with me. That's weird. We just met. You need to get a hotel. And Shelly pays for a hotel. Is that hotel tax deductible? Y for yes, N for no. Y for yes, N for no. Is that tax deductible? Answer, another daily double. Yes. If Shelly books a flight and she gets on an airplane, is the airplane deductible? Yes or no? Are the tickets deductible? Yes or no? Are nails deductible? I'm sorry, they are not. No. No. And it's not even worth it. How much do you spend on mani-pedis all year? It's not worth the risk. Hotel deductible. Flight deductible. What if she gets a rental car while she's there? Is the rental car deductible? Yes. What about her meals? She goes out to eat. What about meals? Can she deduct her meals? Yes or no? Oh, of course. What if Shelly wanted to drive from South Carolina to Michigan? Of course. Of course. This is how you pre-plan travel. When you pre-plan travel, you can have a vacation blended in with it, and it's all deductible. Cool? Good morning. If you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time. If you want to book a free tax savings call, they're only available for another 6 minutes. When I'm done teaching about tax savings, I'm going to close the free tax savings calls. If you want to save your spot, go to my TikTok profile, tap on my site. When the site pops up, it says free tax savings call. It's only available for 5 minutes and 49 seconds. When that timer runs out, I pull this down. To get to the free call, you go to my TikTok profile. When you get to my TikTok profile, tap on the site. How do you get here? Great question. See the green face? There's a green face in the top of the TikTok live. Just tap on the green face. It'll pop up again. Tap on the green face again. Cool? Good morning. For rental properties, do you have to have a business already? Great question. Let's come back here. For travel, are you still talking about travel? I got replaced by a wall clock. Wait a second. Wait a second. Got them. Got them. Good morning. No, not replaced. You got promoted. I haven't told you about your new promotion, have I? I'll tell you about it. Yes, okay, so check this out. Let's just replace, now I put Schedule C or Schedule E. Good morning, Mr. Phil. Good morning, sunshine. Shelly has a Schedule C business. But what if I have rental properties and a Schedule E? Very similar. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to pre-plan. So you want to expand your rental property business? Let's take Shelly, for example. She lives in South Carolina. She wants to travel to Michigan. She would email real estate agents. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Real Estate Agent. I'm a rental property investor here in South Carolina. I'm looking to buy in Michigan. So then I would email my real estate agent or a real estate agent in Michigan, scheduling time ahead of time. So this is a part of the pre-plan process. It's not willy-nilly. It's not on a whim. I'm going to pre-plan. Hey, I'm looking to invest in Airbnbs in Michigan. Can we schedule time to do some showings while I'm in town? Yes. Real estate agent, can we? So that's business purpose. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Why did I meet with the real estate agent? To expand my Schedule E rental property business. I'm looking to acquire more assets. So if I fly into town on Thursday, that's a travel day, deductible. Instead of a Turo business like Shelly, you would replace this with real estate meetings. So then you spend the morning looking at and touring rental properties. Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type N for no. What you fill in with that time doesn't matter, whether you're a business owner or you're an investor, as long as it matches the business that you're in town for. Then what you do with the afternoon doesn't matter. That's personal time. Cool. Like, hey, dude, I spent 4 hours this morning looking at touring rental properties. Now I'm going to spend personal time. I bookend that. I sandwich it. Saturday's the next day's a personal day, not working on a Saturday. Sunday's a personal day, not working. Monday, I have more meetings, looking at more rental properties, touring more self-storage properties, whatever you're into. Then in the afternoon, personal day, because I worked in the morning. Tuesday, I fly back out. That entire trip, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, 6 days, 6 days completely deductible. I deducted the hotel, the flight, the car rentals, the food. You want to do something? You want to go a little bit deeper? How many of you have kids? Type K in the chat for kids. Type K in the chat for kids. Let's do a little bit of this. Let's clean this up. Okay, when you travel with your kids, let's say you're going on vacation with your kids, where are some places that you go to? Give me some ideas in the comments. I'm somehow in a chocolate factory working on equipment. Good morning! Good morning! Love going deep. That's what I heard about you, Mr. Phil. That's the rumor on the street. Orlando, okay. What's in Orlando? Why do you like to go to Orlando? In the comments below, what's in Orlando? Disney. Parks, amusement parks, roller coasters. Okay, so now, do y'all want to learn how to do this? You ready? Same concept, same concept. Check this out. Cruises, can you deduct cruises? There is tax law that shows that you can deduct certain portion of the cruise. If you have a business event, let's say that you're going, they have business events in Hawaii all the time, Universal Studios. So let's say that you hop on a cruise and you cruise from California and you go all the way to Hawaii. If you have a business function in Hawaii, now you really have to document this and you really need to work with your CPA. Some CPAs like the tax law and they'll defend it and they'll document it for you. Other ones are like, I ain't touching that. Depends on your accountant. However, you can say your boat is a transportation because like maybe you're afraid of flying. So you got on a cruise and you cruise from Los Angeles to Hawaii. You can deduct some portion, not all of it, of that cruise. If you document it as transportation, you would take the per diem rate. It's kind of complicated, but it's possible. But it's going to be dependent on your CPA if they're willing to do that. Cool? But here we go. Let's talk about deducting Disney. Is it possible? Now, warning, you have a little bit of time. 50 seconds left. When this timer runs out, I am pulling down the free tax savings calls. If you want to book your spot, go to my TikTok profile, tap on the site. When the site pops up, it says free tax savings calls. When this timer goes to 0, done. You cannot book a tax savings call. So this is your last shot. You've got 34 seconds to do it, and then I'm pulling it down. If you want to get to the free tax savings calls, there's a green face up here. Tap on the green face once. It pops up one more time here. Tap on it again. Okay, so here we go. Travel. Let's say you want to go to Orlando, and you want to take your kids to Disney. And you do all the same stuff that I just talked about. Whether you got a Schedule C business, Schedule E business, 1120S, S corporation, C corporation, whatever. I travel. My travel day is deductible. In the morning, before like Disney World or Universal Studios opens up, I have pre-planned business meetings. I meet with prospective customers. I meet with current clients. I'm going to have that meeting. Maybe I meet them for coffee at 6 a.m. and I meet until 10 a.m. Then the park's open. Then I take my kids to Disney World. I've deducted my travel, my flight to Disney World. I've deducted my hotel to Disney World. Can I deduct the entertainment tickets to get into Disney World? Y for yes, N for no. Can I deduct the tickets to get into Universal Studios? Entertainment. Y for yes, N for no. I can't deduct the tickets to get into Disney. But if I'm having business meetings for business purposes, I can deduct the flight, the hotel of my stay. Does the IRS care that my kids stayed in the hotel with me? No. I can still deduct the hotel, but I cannot deduct the Disney tickets. I can't deduct the amusement park tickets. I can't deduct the Universal Studio stuff. But I still deducted my hotel, my flight, my rental car, meals, yes, all of that stuff. Because I used the same sandwich method. Travel day when I flew in on Thursday. Friday was a business meeting in the morning. Afternoon, Airbnb, for sure. You can deduct that too. Travel, it's your stay. Afternoon, personal, so I go to the parks in the afternoon. Saturday parks, Sunday parks, Monday morning, 6 a.m. Everybody's sleeping. I go out, I have a business meeting, I come back. We're awake, we're ready to go to the parks finally open. Then I spend the afternoon doing personal stuff. I got my business done. Tuesday we travel home. Deduct the entire trip except the tickets, except the entertainment. Cool? So you could do that. Every time I take my kids to Orlando, I do that. Last time we went to Disney World was this summer. It was like June, early June. We ended up driving. I drove from Austin, Texas to Cocoa Beach, Florida. Met with one of my clients. Bob, are you in here? I don't know if Bob's in here. Met with Bob in Cocoa Beach, near Cocoa Beach. Then I went from Cocoa Beach to Orlando, went back home. Deducted the entire travel. Are you kidding me? And then, of course, the hotel stays, meals. We do it every year. What? Oh, my gosh. Okay, I got to pull this down. If you didn't get a chance to save your spot, you snooze, you lose. Let me get that taken care of right now, and let's get to it. Oh, my gosh. How many of you want to look at more assets? Type A in the chat for assets. Good morning. Good morning. Let's look at more asset acquisition. All right, pull this down. Bang, bang. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Couple more deals. If you want to look at more assets, type A in the chat for asset. We can pivot away from tax savings. We'll get to assets. Buenos dias. Hola, mi amigo. Hola, Sergio. Okay, let's go here. Let me teach you. Let's go back here for a second. Specials. Can I deduct hotel? Oh my gosh. Have them put it on the company card, baby. The company card. What's Gotham's business? Other than Jones Barbecue Foot Massage, no, not that card. Serving up the sauce. Serving up the sauce. That's Gotham's business. We'll talk about that. So one of the reasons I think we'll cover this stuff tomorrow. Actually, I didn't realize I've got a 9:30. I just had a calendar notification. I've got a 9:30 call, so I've got 4 minutes. But tomorrow we will talk about the problems with traditional retirement planning and why retirement planning. Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. Tomorrow we'll talk about retirement planning and why it doesn't work. And like the traditional model is very simple. You earn income, try to reduce your expenses, and you take the gap and you invest it. It doesn't work. There's some major issues with this game. We'll talk about why it fails, and we'll address all that. But I gotta go. I didn't realize how close I would cut this. Don't let them wait for you. Oh my gosh. Okay. True story. I had a call with Mr. Phil. Oh man, I had a call with Mr. Phil, and he texted me. It was supposed to be at 11 or something. He texted me at 11:15. He's like, "Hey man, I can get you an Alzheimer's appointment at a doctor. You know, like if you've got early onset dementia, I know a good doctor." I was like, "What is this?" Oh, he's like, "Oh no, sorry, Mr. Phil, I'm on my way." And so, like a good sport, he's very sweet about it. But as he should let me know about it every chance he gets. So anyway, I don't know why I didn't get the notification that day. Oh my gosh. But anyway, I gotta go. I'm gonna go sulk for a little while in my sorrows. But anyway, good morning. Can you summarize the subject? We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that produce profit, whether it's rental properties or self-storage or laundromats or RV parks. If you want to get financially free without waiting until you're 103, we buy assets. Those assets cash flow. The cash flow replaces your active income and you can stop working. We retire people on average in 7 years or less. We also have an emphasis on tax savings. Why? Because it is your greatest expense. You spend more in taxes than you do your rent, your mortgage, which is your living expense, groceries and healthcare combined. What? I gotta go. See, this is how it happens, Mr. Phil. This is how it happens. Okay, I got a piece. I got a grease. I'll catch you in the Middle East. What? I don't know. Love you. Gotta go. Dip like a chip. Peace. Have a great day. Adios. Adios. Alexa, play El Rey by Vicente Fernandez. Oh, no. I got to go. No longer will I be here. Oh.